Storage and pasture management is an essential component of this diversified farm. They ensure availability of quality feed grown on this very farm for the livestock. On this farm, they consider properly storing hay and silage to maintain their quality. The feeds are stored in a dry, well-ventilated area away from direct sunlight and moisture. They also rotate stored feed to ensure that the old feed, if any, is used first to prevent spoilage. But considering that they sell some of it to other farms, old feed is a rare sight on this farm.
As you can see, the whole of this shed is called a silage bunker. So the pastures we have looked at in the gardens, the sorghum, maize, morato, we correct the whole of it when it is still fresh. We crush it and then we make silage. But of course that silage has to be preserved. So we either use molasses or we use chachu and we preserve that that silage. This silage you see here can be kept here for 2 to 3 years without damage. This grass you see here, which is dry, we have just got it from our area, our land, because during the rains we get too much of the pastures. We slash them, we dry them, but we are doing all this in preparation for the dry period when we shall run short of the pastures.
I see.
So right now it's time for milking our animals. They are being fed on silage from this silage bunker. We mix with hay, which is also crushed using our machinery which we have around, and it keeps the milk production high, whether it's a rainy season or a dry season.
The farm also provides a valuable learning experience and can help promote sustainable agriculture practices in the local community with its training facility, which is at times rented out to other groups that may need a rendezvous space for approximately 20 people and slightly more. Rwenjeru Agro-Tourism Demonstration and Training Camp also provides accommodation for visitors who want to experience farm life firsthand. This could include farm stays, camping, and breakfast options. Visitors can wake up early to watch the cows being milked and participate in other farm activities throughout the day. In the future, Martin intends to put up cottages and glamping options, but the magnificent view of the farmlands from the hills is something to behold. I would camp out on this farm on any given day or night.
It's the expert opinion with Bukola Chemical Industries. Of course, with me, a face that shows up more than I do lately, Solomon Seruo with Bukola Chemical Industries. It's nice to have you.
Thank you.
So we are looking at 500 acres of land, and agro-tourism seems to be thriving on this farm. It's not something that is very common in Uganda yet, and we can only hope people pick it up. So why should people pick it up? Why should more people venture into it?
See, agro-tourism, like you have mentioned, is something that is growing, and not just in Uganda, but globally. There seems to be a lot of interest in taking on this new concept, even when it dates way back in several other countries like India and the United States of America, where it's been ongoing for way back. But what we see lately is that we have more Ugandans who have some land, not necessarily to spare, but to put to alternative use, picking up with the concept.
Yeah.
And for those of us that are watching in and probably hearing the concept for the first time, we're talking about agricultural activities that have a potential of attracting visitors on farm.
Yeah.
And the visitors could be coming in for either recreation or agriculture education, or even entertainment.
Yeah.
And so the farmers out there who are picking up this concept, either it helps them to get a bit of side income, Because if you have a crop cycle that goes for about 4 months, I mean, midway, all you can do is take care of the crops. And you can only wait until you've harvested to begin to earn something.
Yep.
But agro-tourism gives the farmers an opportunity to get an extra income, a side income as a result of expanding farm operations, allowing visitors to come in either to learn about what is happening on farm, to rest, to learn something new, and possibly for recreation purposes or even entertainment, as earlier said. So it also has a lot of potential in preserving land, giving an example of farms that are huge enough to have, for example, different trees which are beneficial for the environment. And yet, we also look at agro-tourism as a way of creating an alternative market for the communities around, because the tourists that are coming on farm will certainly go around the community, and you never know, they could pick agricultural produce on the roadsides, they could buy commodities from shops around. So it keeps the communities vibrant, and yet also for the communities also around, they have an opportunity to tap into what is happening on farm for them to be able to try it out and also get a livelihood out of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now Martin here, he's got fish, he's got the cows, he's got it all. We can't complain. And then there's a campsite set up as well for the tourists. Now you mentioned the communities, but then I would think that farmers as well, like normal farmers who have taken on, let's say, just maybe dairy farming, or those that have just taken on apiary, they come here to learn a thing or two, and that in a way does help them, does it not?
Yeah, that's right, because the good news is, actually for the basics, if you're going to do agro-tourism, you must do it at a very professional level, because if it's going to be for education purposes, then people must, from the experience on farm, pick the details of the good practices, and therefore whatever is done must be on point. So the farmers that are within the communities can easily pick good practice and learn how such enterprises are run. In fact, talking about some of the challenges that farmers that are venturing into agro-tourism could face is the need to have adequate knowledge on how to do the enterprises in a very attractive way, because they must be on point. Someone should come to the farm and learn something that they can go back home and do, and not just do, but do it as good or as well as they have seen it being done. You see, Martin's setup is unique, because it's more than just the crops, it's more than just the animals. And even when agro-tourism could be set up from the existence of a single enterprise, the combination of a number of enterprises and other activities related to farm or agriculture make the enterprise or the venture even more attractive, because you are going to a farm and it's going to be more than just the animals. It's going to be more than just the crops. And so the setting up of solar systems that generates electricity, and it's Martin's case is so exciting that then later the amount of water that is generated has a lot of benefit for the communities, because it's so much that it can't be consumed at his farm alone. So that is going to directly benefit the community where this setup is. And when you talk about now the biogas, where the output from the animals is now being used to produce energy that runs the farm, then he's combining these enterprises, different enterprises, including crop and animal, to further support the farm and yet reduce the cost of running the same. So it's very exciting. This is something that everyone who combines both animal and crop could actually try out, because then even the guests that come around could actually be served by such energy, and also learn on how best they could try it at their own.
Well, it really is indeed exciting to be on Rwenjeru Agro-Tourism and Demonstration Farm. There's a lot more to learn, a lot more to experience, and just so much to live for.
On our next episode, we continue our mission to find the gold in the seed in the land of milk and honey.